What is up, metalheads, and welcome to a late night edition of Full Metal 5. This is it. This is the finale of the Disney series I've been working on for the past 3 weeks. It has finally come to this. The topic today is to find the top 5 Disney animated films of all time. This has been a long time coming ever since I started this list. I didn't think we'd even get to this. That's why I divided it into 3 videos. But you guys responded so well to them that I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. We're going to sit here. I'm going to get a panel together. We are going to make a definitive list. As I told you all, what I did was I got people who had been on past ones to come together with me to help me try to put this list together. So let's not waste any time and start introducing everyone. As you may notice, there are only 4 people here yet. Oyama is part of the panel. He is running a little bit late. We are going to start without him, but he will be here. So introducing next. Actually, I want to give him a big thank you. A last-minute entry. You'll notice Jeremy Adams is not here. He was unfortunately not feeling well tonight. He really wanted to be here. He was just not feeling it. But you know what? Health comes first, so he's taking the night off. So replacing him is another Jeremy. That is Jeremy Hastings, JTH. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing great. Y'all replaced smart Jeremy with dumb Jeremy. Talk about a massive downgrade. I hope I can just hold my own and make this list worthy.
All right, man. No, we're glad to have you, man. Glad to have you back. Had a good time with you on Modern Disney, so it's good to have you. So now the other 2, our representative from the first Disney era video is Malcolm Cody from Down Under to the Side. Hit me with a burger and a side of fries. How you doing, Malcolm?
Pretty good. Just looking at this list now, there's at least one area which I won't get a representative in the final top 5, but I'll try my hardest to get one of those on. So.
Yeah, no, I fear that too. Looking at this list, it is ridiculous. And last but not least, from the postmodern video, we have Cody Newberry. Cody, how you feeling tonight?
Did you say best era of Disney? Because I agree with you if you said that. But yes, I am here to defend the ones that I want. I am already knowing that I'm going to be the very unpopular one. But it's okay. I've accepted it, and I'm ready for the bloodbath to begin.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, let's go ahead and get started. So just a quick reminder. How we're doing round 1 is the usual nomination rounds for our top 7. However, to remind everybody, we are not opening the floor. We are only taking the 15 movies we have already distinguished into the top 5 of each era. So let's give a reminder for everybody. For the Disney era, 1939 to 1969, you had number 1, Pinocchio, number 2, Dumbo, number 3, Alice in Wonderland, number 4, Jungle Book, and number 5, Cinderella. For the post-Disney era, this was 1970 to 1994. You had number 1, The Lion King, number 2, Aladdin, number 3, Beauty and the Beast, number 4, The Little Mermaid, number 5, The Fox and the Hound. And for modern Disney, which was 1995 to 2017, you had number 1, Hercules, number 2, Mulan, number 3, The Emperor's New Groove, number 4, Lilo and Stitch, and number 5, Zootopia. These are the only 15 movies that will be considered for this top 5 list. Sorry for all of those who thought we were going to maybe take some movies back. Nope. We are only going from these. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and start this one. And this may be an unpopular one, but to me, this movie shouldn't have even been on its list to begin with. So my easy one to get rid of, who I want to say, or actually, sorry, I should nominate who I want in the top 7. This is an easy one for me, honestly, and it's the number 1 of post-Disney, and that's The Lion King. I don't think any Disney list cannot have this on here. A top 5 anything can't have The Lion King on it. Best animation, best song, best film altogether, best villain. Lion King is in top 5 of everything. Argue with me if you want. But in my opinion, Lion King is top 5 of everything when it comes to Disney. So it definitely belongs in the top 5 films of all time. I will go to Cody first. Cody, do you agree with me? Should Lion King make the consideration list of 7 out of these 15?
Not only does it make the top list of most things, top score, top music, top villain, top Disney movie, it makes my top movie of all time. I nominated it in the original show. There's no question that I guarantee it has to be on this list. It is not. It's somewhat not even the best animated movie. It's probably one of the best movies, especially of '94 and on. Disney hit a giant home run with this, and it definitely deserves to be on the list. If it doesn't, well, I will travel to somebody's house.
All right. So that's 2 votes for Lion King. Jeremy, does this end quickly, or do you think Lion King doesn't need to make this list?
Now, while I do have personal issues with the movie personally, I still can't deny the impact that it had on the world and pop culture and everything. It would be absolutely crazy for me to keep it off the list. So while I don't necessarily think it's as great as everyone else thinks it is, it absolutely is still a worthy movie to be on the list.
We'll have to have
All right. So. All right, so with that, Lion King is going to make the consideration list. Malcolm, would you have thought any differently? Would you have voted every differently, or is this a no-brainer?
No brainer. It was the first one I was planning to bring up myself. It was the first movie I actually remember seeing in the cinemas, and it's really defined my childhood. And yeah, it would have made it anyway.
That beard is great. Your mind is great.
I love when foreigners say cinema. It feels so fancy. All right, then we're gonna go ahead and move on to since your vote didn't count, I will toss the floor to you next. Then Malcolm, what is the movie you would like to nominate, the first one out of the remaining 14 that you think at least deserves a consideration?
For me, it's Hercules without a doubt. I mean, it's a really great movie, and it's probably got one of the second best Disney villains in Hades, played by James Woods. And it's actually one of my favorite worlds I like going to in Kingdom Hearts. So I mean, Hercules deserves to be in here.
All right, I love the Kingdom Hearts reference right there. It was also one of my favorite worlds as well. All right, so Hercules is on the table. Let's go ahead to Jeremy. You were on this list. You helped get this one number 1. Does the number 1 of this list deserve to be in the top 5 of all time?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It absolutely deserves the spot as the number 1 modern Disney movie. It still holds up today with the animation and the story that was told. As was said, still one of the best Disney villains out there. Actually, kind of an underrated Disney villain. Honestly, many people don't talk about him as part of the top tier Disney villains. So, to me, it's a no-brainer. Hercules is definitely a top 5 Disney movie.
All right, so with that, I'll go ahead and go, and I'll say that was like, it's hard because, like, with all these other movies that are here, I have to look at Hercules sometimes and be like, man, like, of all time, but I love this movie. It's a big part of my childhood. Does it at least deserve to make it to the next round? Absolutely. So Hercules is definitely making the consideration list. It's going to make the 7. So with that, Hercules stays on. Cody, would you have thought any differently?
Watching your guys' episode last week, I have never been more angry watching one of these things in my life, just by some of the insults and rude things that people have said. But I couldn't agree more with most of your guys' lists. Again, Mulan and Hercules, they could have went either way for me. I like both of those movies a ton. So I would have definitely said yes. I think the movie is the music is great in it. The villain is more of a comedic villain, but he does so well. And he even has those menacing moments. And even the Danny DeVito just steals the movie. And Meg in the movie, she does great, especially with that song, one of the best Disney songs. So yeah, for modern Disney, yeah, it has to be definitely in consideration and definitely on the list.
All right, so we move on next, and Cody, I will actually go to you next. So what is the movie you would like to recommend that you think should make the consideration list, at least make the 7?
Well, it's not a shocker. I made a point to be on one episode to make sure I was on the one because I feel like that chunk of time, Disney, especially at the end, Disney was at the top. No one could touch it. And I'm going to go with Aladdin. just music, character, even the visuals in the movie. It freaked me out as a kid at times, but it also, made me fall in love with Disney more. And I think Aladdin, again, it made 2 on that list, and that's a feat to make. I feel like it definitely deserves consideration for the top 7.
All right, so Aladdin's on board. Let's go ahead and go to Malcolm. What do you think?
I'm actually, as much as I do like it, I might have to just say yes to it because I mean, Robin Williams as a genie pretty much sells it for me. It's like, and I'm really hoping that Will Smith does the genie justice in the live action one that they're doing, but I'm kind of scared for that.
After,
even in the sequels with with Homer voicing the genie, it still has that same Robin Williams tone to the genie, like that. No matter who's playing him, it can go either way in the animated one. So,
all right, so that's 2 votes for Aladdin. I'm gonna go ahead and just say, yeah. I mean, this is one of those ones you can't ignore too. I mean, we talk about not wanting to saturate an era, but it's Aladdin. You can't deny the impact that it had when it came out. I mean, once again, kind of with the Lion King, one of the best songs on there. Like, I don't care what anyone says about that duet. A Whole New World is like the go-to Disney duet. I don't care what you think about Disney. That is the go-to duet if you ever want to see. But once again, Robin Williams, same thing. It's one of his most unforgettable roles. All I know is if Will Smith comes out in that Aladdin movie talking about in West Egypt, born and raised on the west of the Nile, where I spent most of my days, I'm out of there. I'm walking out of the theater. I swear to God, I'm leaving. But honestly, I'm just glad he's not blue. There has been confirmed he is not blue. They're not going to make him blue. He's just going to be a genie. So that at least gives me a little bit of comfort. But anyways, but for this, yeah, Aladdin definitely deserves the consideration. So with that, Aladdin's going to be on this list for sure. Jeremy, you would have thought any differently?
I'm actually one of those few people that actually likes Aladdin more than The Lion King. Aladdin was the first movie I ever saw in theaters, and that love of that movie never left. I think every character is perfect in that movie. I wouldn't change a thing about it. It's one of my favorite movies ever.
All right, so with that, and Jeremy, it is your turn. It is your turn to say what movie of the remaining 12 do you think deserves to stay in the top 7?
I hate to keep going through the post-Disney era, but I think there's another movie on there that deserves to be on the list, and it's the movie that was nominated for Best Picture, and it's Beauty and the Beast. So many more great characters involved in this. Gaston, kind of epitomized what a great Disney villain was about. The bad guy that believed he was a good guy, and kind of, wrap your head around what his thought process was about, being a bad guy and being a good guy. And the Beast, you feel the compassion for him. Belle was a great Disney princess and all that. Great side characters, great story, great plot. I think it absolutely deserves to be on this list.
All right, so once again, sticking with the 90s, Beauty and the Beast now on the list. Go ahead and go to Cody with a big old smile on his face. Do you think any differently than him?
It was the year I was born. It's a great year. I'm telling you, I'm not joking with you. All 5 could make the list. I'm not saying that's where I'm going, but I'm saying that's how good this era of Disney was. You can't argue that they were that strong at their game. And even if you watch like later 2000s and stuff, you can see just how far they fell with what their animation went to. I'm not saying that Disney's perfect. They have faults, but this is when they were in their stride. So I have to physically go Beauty and the Beast. I know Paul Oyama would not probably vote this on, but I have to physically say yes because the music in the music, the enchantment, I don't care about the Stockholm syndrome, blah blah blah. I was a child. The Beast scared the crap out of me. When he turned nice, I was happy. There was a dancing candle. Be our guest on the top 7 list. All right, that's
All right, so that's 2 votes for Beauty and the Beast. Malcolm, does the conversation need to go any further?
This is making it on because this is one of my favorite Disney movies. Second in this post-Disney era, and yeah, it's a hard yes for me. Let's get it on before Paul turns up.
All right. Yeah, so with that, Beauty and the Beast makes the list. Yeah, Paul Oyama, if you're paying attention in any way, shape, or form, you better hurry up before we finish this 7 before you even get a chance to say something.
5 people.
Because no movie has been rejected yet. We're already halfway there. We only have 3 spots left. If anybody has Paul Oyama on Messenger, you tell him to get his ass here now, or else he is going to walk into something he does not like.
Keep time. This might be a record when this is all said and done.
just said ready now.
Oh, he literally just said, okay, I'm going to wait for this man to get in here then so he can nominate a video before it comes back to me. Or nominate a movie, sorry. No, I am going to follow my own rules. I'm
Well, I
only
heard
going
Alice
to...
was sick and she couldn't make it.
Hey, there he is.
Oh, Jesus
Ladies
Christ.
and gentlemen, Paul Oyama.
Don't show up late to a party. You want like the guest list.
Only Robert Vincent can be late to a party.
So RJ,
How
do
you
you want to
doing,
like
Paul?
let him know what's on the list? I'll just sit back and watch his face.
Can you hear us, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay, so since you're here, it is your turn to nominate someone to be considered for the top 7. But let me tell you the list so far, because we already have 4. No one has got a movie rejected yet. So far of the 7 spots, we have The Lion King, Hercules, Aladdin, and Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yep. So, from what you can look at real quick, if you look over the 11 films that are left, what do you think should also be considered for the top 7? We're still getting a 7 first before we do a 5. So
Yeah. Nothing else was nominated. Everything has been 90s so far.
it really has.
One. Oh, you're right. No, everything's 90s. You're
They're
100%.
literally all 90s.
It is actually 100% 90s right now.
I forgot
Jeremy
about.
is turning over in his grave with his cold.
So,
Took some cold
oof.
medicine, like get me in there.
Okay, so
These 90
there's
kids don't know what
one
they're talking
there was
about.
one that I won on really badly, but
It may
That's-
come back to you.
I'm just not gonna play around with this, and I'm just gonna say Pinocchio. I don't know how it hasn't been nominated yet, but I think Pinocchio is maybe objectively the best animated movie Disney's ever made. It's gorgeously animated. There's moments of horror, moments of wonder, moments of the whole thing is just so beautifully made and beautifully composed, and the characters are very engaging. And yeah, I think it'd be insane if Pinocchio is not on this list.
All right, so Pinocchio's on the board. I'm going to go ahead and take this one and say, like, yeah, duh. Like, I agree. It was actually going to be what I was going to nominate before Paul jumped in, so thank God for Paul jumping in. But, yeah, I mean, Pinocchio, how beautiful a movie it is. Like he said, it's such a well-rounded film in general. It's not just purely a kid's movie. There's a lot of adult themes in that movie. Very scary. What's the dude's name? The puppet master? What's that dude's name again?
No, stop.
What's the puppet guy's name? Not Geppetto. The guy the marionette guy. The guy who hires Pinocchio.
Oh,
What's that dude's name?
wow, blanket on this right now.
Yeah, okay, we all suck at the Schmodown. But
Yeah.
anyways, that guy scared the out of me as a kid. That guy and the guy in charge of Pleasure Island, they scared the hell out of me as a kid. But this movie is just so much fun.
Oh, wait. Honest John?
No,
Right.
Honest John's the Fox.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
We're terrible at Schmodown, folks. We'll get some
Yep.
fact checks in later.
Yep,
But yes,
fine.
Pinocchio definitely makes the consideration. Let's go ahead and move on to Cody. Cody, does Pinocchio make this top 7 list?
Movie's so boring to me. I'm sorry.
My.
I understand. Listen,
Oh,
Disney has done it better. They've way done it better in the 90s. I don't care. Everybody's purist of what they did before. No, Pinocchio's boring. I was a child, got scared the crap out of by this stupid movie. I get it. It's Disney's song. They've done so much with animation back then, but I say that Disney is way above what they did with Pinocchio. I'm sorry. I'm in the minority of this. I just don't like Pinocchio. I've never liked Pinocchio. I've rewatched it numerous times. It's not there. It
are
doesn't.
so lucky I was not here for The Lion King. So lucky.
Well, go ahead and say what you need to say.
Yeah, no offense, Lion King was going to make it on anyways. Every film before this one has been unanimous. That is actually the first negative vote of the night.
Thank you.
So, all right, so that's 1 yes
Fine.
and 1 no for Pinocchio. So we go to Jeremy. What do you think? Does Pinocchio make this list?
I don't know what Cody's talking about. I mean, absolutely, this movie deserves to be on this list. Himself, I mean, freaking intro. They use it to epitomize what Disney is all about.
Because they haven't changed their sound.
Yeah, absolutely deserves to be on.
70 years. It's not a big deal.
All right, so that's 2 votes for Pinocchio, 1 vote against it. Malcolm, does Pinocchio make this list?
Yeah, it's number 1 in the Disney era, and it's a really great movie. It's one of my favorites when I was a kid, so of course it makes the list.
All right, so with that is it. Pinocchio makes the list. I wouldn't have voted any differently. Like everyone says, I don't know what Cody's talking about. I can understand maybe being scared of it as a kid, but not recognizing the film for what it is kind of an atrocity. So we're going to move on.
It says in the chat, Stromboli was the name of the
Stromboli, thank you. Thank you. That guy scared the hell out of me as a kid.
Couldn't remember which Italian food he was named after.
Yeah, I knew it was something like that. All right, so let's see. All right, man, we're already like, yeah. I think post Disney's done. No offense to the 4 and 5, but I'd throw those guys under the bus all day. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say Mulan. I'm gonna nominate Mulan. Should at least be in the 7. Once again, just a super fun movie, and regardless that Disney classifies her as a princess, before they did that, before they decided like, no, she classifies as a princess, this was like one of the first, if not the first, female-led Disney movies that was not focused on a princess. I don't care what they say. She's not a princess. In no actual way because they say she's a princess. Pocahontas, they can make the argument she's the daughter of a chief, whatever. Mulan is not a princess. But I digress. This was a great female character-led movie. Eddie Murphy killed it as Mushu. To me, that's like, it's like tied with Donkey for him of like best sidekick character, like both Eddie Murphy-wise. Like, he's just so funny in it. The songs are just so fun to sing with. Like Girl Worth Fighting For, I'll Make a Man Out of You. Reflections is one of the like deepest songs, I think. Like, it really gets me in the feels every time I hear it. And yeah, I just think Mulan at least deserves the consideration to be on this top 5. So I'm putting Mulan out there. Paul, what do you think?
This is the movie I was wanting to nominate. This is my personal favorite Disney movie. I think Mulan is easily among the best Disney characters, period. Live action, animated, or otherwise. I think that character is also just so important to Disney history, and I think changing what we think of a female protagonist in an animated movie like this, not that they're necessarily the first, but I think on the scale, I guess, that they sort of carried this out on. And yeah, you said it, the music is incredible. Like I said in the last episode, I'll Make a Man Out of You is my favorite Disney song. And yeah, I just think that the movie is so tight and it moves so efficiently that I think it just, there's no fat, and this is a phenomenal movie. So yes.
All right, that's 2 votes for Mulan. Malcolm, does Mulan stay on the consideration list?
This is getting at this point. It's really hard. But there's a lot there. But I'm going to say yes, even if it does mean it's going to be mostly 90s movies in this list.
All right, so with that, that's it. Mulan makes a consideration list. Cody, you're looking over there aggravated like you were thinking differently.
The character is really great, but the movie's super boring. Villains kind of... No, sorry, that was Caleb's message from last match. This movie's fantastic. It should, in my opinion, be number one on your guys' last list. Again, Hercules and them go back and forth. But I disagree because when it's coming down to the final list, there's not really that much left, I would say. Because some made it that shouldn't have, I believe. But, yeah, I would have said absolutely for Mulan. Mulan's one of the great songs, great characters, great everything.
All right, JTH, thought any differently?
I mean, you remember my take. I had it number 9 just in that era, so I wouldn't have been able to put it on here. Like I said, after I'll Make a Man Out of You, I think that movie just levels off. I don't think it improves once that spot happens. I think the third act is pretty forgettable, honestly. And I said it in the thing. Sean Yu, I think, is the worst villain of that decade. If you want to say the dude from Pocahontas, that's fine. But if not, he's the next to worst villain of that decade. I mean, you can't put him against people like Scar and Ursula and Jafar, Gaston, and all that. He just doesn't level up to me. So I would have said no.
All right. So, with that, that is only the second negative comment of the night, but who knows what would have happened if Paul would have been here for when we were nominating all the other ones. But so far, that's only the second negative comment so far. So, Cody, it is your turn. There is one spot left. One spot.
Again, this may be unpopular, but I definitely play Full Metal 5 way different. I play for the easy cut. Just makes sense to me because yes, it doesn't make. It's like your favorite team in sports making the playoffs but losing in the first round. They shouldn't even made it to begin with. Like it's nothing for that team. Explain. Yeah, it's the exact. It's just you losing your round. It's just you did nothing. You did nothing. You just played an extra 3 games. So my vote for the top 7 is Zootopia, and that's just for Paul. And last time it happened, I had Oliver and Company. Actually made this funny if it happened again.
All right, so Zootopia is up for discussion. The first one in the bottom 3 of any list to be brought up. Just putting that out there for the night. The first one out of the top 3 of each list to be brought up. So Zootopia is on the line. I'm going to start this with a big hell no. I'm sorry. Like, I said it in the last
Are you sorry?
video.
Should you be sorry?
No, I truly am. Like, I understand a lot of people like this movie. But if you're asking me, nah. I think the movie had a nice little run, and then it died out. Like, never heard anything about it after it went to DVD. It wasn't like, oh, man, I got to go buy Zootopia. Oh, man, we got to watch Zootopia again. No. Watched it once. It was really nice. Had a really good run in theaters. But after that, it was just done for me. It's a nice message. It's awesome animation. But I definitely wouldn't put that in the top 7. I just don't even think it would be part of this conversation. So I'm going to have to say no. Jeremy, what do you think?
This is tough because I fought really hard for this movie to get on the top 5. I mean, I understand what you're talking about the fact that it died. Nobody started talking about it. I think the main reason why people stopped talking about it is kind of the reasons of the lessons it was telling. I think people were just afraid to talk about this movie because it hits such sensitive stuff. Like, if you have a regular conversation with people about, oh, I don't like this movie, you get attacked. Oh, you don't understand what this movie's all about. But even though I really like this movie a lot, there was another movie on that list alone that I thought should have been listed higher than it, and it was. There's another movie on that list I probably would fight for over that. So, unfortunately, I'd probably have to say no, even though I do like the movie a lot.
All right, so that's 2 no's for Zootopia, 1 yes. Malcolm, does this conversation keep going, or is Zootopia out?
Yeah, as much as I like Zootopia, the better computer animated Disney movie from that year. It did not make the top 5. I would have put Moana over Zootopia, but it didn't make that list. And yeah, so it's easily a no for me.
All right. So with that, Zootopia, we have our first rejection. Zootopia will not be in the top 7 consideration. Paul, were you thinking any differently?
Absolutely fucking not. Not only is this movie this meh, but also the message. Like I mentioned this in the episode, the message is really like totally bungled. Like it's supposed to be this message about, there's no difference between prey and predator, and it's this race metaphor. But then in the end, all she did was enhance the underlying difference in them physiologically. So that's saying there is a natural difference, which completely destroys the metaphor, and I think is like a dangerous message for kids. So on top of the movie being really forgettable outside of Nick Wilde, absolutely not. Absolutely.
All right. So
I don't have to put the one on.
all right, Jeremy, it is now your turn. What movie do you think should take the last spot?
I'll go ahead and just say the movie that I was talking about. For me, I think if there was one person different on the panel that we were on, I think this movie probably would have been in top 3 in the modern one, and I'm going to go with Lilo and Stitch. For me, this has always been a personal favorite movie of mine. I just loved the animation. I loved the story. I loved the lessons that it told for me. And obviously, it was a story that we didn't expect it was going to be like that. The action, I was not expecting to be that much. But to me, I've just always loved this movie. For whatever reason, I'm not usually into that type of movie, but for some reason, this movie just stuck with me. So I'm going to throw it out there. I don't know what the rest of the panel will think about it, but I'll just give it a shot.
All right. So Lilo and Stitch is on the block. Malcolm, does Lilo and Stitch take the last spot?
Ohana may mean family, but to me, Lilo and Stitch
don't say
is
that.
not in the top 10, top 7 of all time. I've probably got it at about 8 out of the ones that are in this top 15, so it's a no for me.
All right. So there's 1 yes, 1 no for Lilo and Stitch. Paul, I gotta know what because you said that in the last video. I just gotta know why you continue to
So
not
annoying.
want to hear that line.
Everyone always says that to me. People I don't even know. I tell them I'm from Hawaii. They're like, "Oh, but did you know Ohana means family?" And it's
okay.
it's fucking
Nobody.
awful. But as far as the actual movie, I like the movie a lot. I advocated it for it being on the modern list. I just don't think it's quite up to snuff for all time. I love Lilo as a character. Like I said, I love what she represents. But I just think that there are too many weak points to the movie. A lot of the alien experimental stuff just kind of doesn't really work as well as other elements in these other movies, and it definitely I don't think is one of the 7 best Disney movies of all time. So as much as it pains me to say it, I can't give this a yes.
All right. 2 no's, 1 yes. Let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and I love Lilo and Stitch to death. And Jeremy, like you heard me, I do. This was actually even higher on my list when it came down to this list. This was higher on my list when we got it on there, and I was really shocked that it made it so low. But looking at these other movies, I just can't. I don't see it holding a candle to what we have here. So I can't, in good conscience, give it my vote to be put on this list. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take Lilo and Stitch off of the conversation. Cody, would you have thought any differently?
It has one of my favorite quotes in the entire movie is, does she ever discipline you? Yeah, 5 times a day, sometimes with a brick. It makes me laugh, but it does not deserve top set. I would have probably voted yes, just so it's an easy kickoff. That's how I play the game. But yeah, it's okay if it doesn't make the list.
All right, so we are moving on to Malcolm. It is your turn to try to fill this last spot. What do you think should take it?
I'm going to go for The Little Mermaid, because after we did the Disney, we were talking about the post-Disney one off air, and there's 4 that we had already decided will probably make that post-Disney list, and Little Mermaid was one of them. And Little Mermaid is one of the best princess Disney movies that they've done. It's a great movie. They've got one of the best villains in it, and I mean it's probably one of the best kings in the Disney movies as well. So Little Mermaid is up there.
All right, so Little Mermaid on the board. Let's go ahead and go to Cody first. Cody, does Little Mermaid stay?
Again, I'm from that where I was born. These movies have a special spot in my heart. It's my wife's Disney movie. I think the villain is fantastic in this movie. It's very funny. I think the story's pretty good too. Probably not the best message, but Disney back then didn't really send the best messages with their movies. I would say yes. I don't think with the final 3 people going that it will make lists, but in my own conscience, I have to would say yes because I think it's a fantastic film. Personally.
All right, 2 yeses for Little Mermaid. Paul, does Little Mermaid take the last spot?
Yeah, so I actually broke this VHS twice as a kid watching this so many times. I love the music. Love the music so much. Ursula is definitely one of the best villains, but again, I think the lead character of Ariel and also Prince Eric are just bad. The message is like really bad. Like basically, hey, you can't be yourself. If you just be someone else for someone, then they'll like you. It's so messed up. Like the way that the story's carried out. It's a terrible plotting. It's not sequenced well, and the pacing's kind of bad. So yeah, I would definitely say no.
All right, so that's 1 no, 2 yeses. Jeremy, does Little Mermaid make the consideration list?
I'm kind of in the same boat with Paul here. For me, I think this is the one movie of that Renaissance era that holds up the least. I think there are better movies that are still left on here than Little Mermaid. Favorites of mine. I don't know where Malcolm will go, so I'll just say no, and I'll leave the floor to him.
All right. That leaves it to me. Man, I'm caught in a thing because I've always said, and I even told the people for the post Disney video, I'll throw Little Mermaid under the bus. I don't care. However, I'm starting to now think strategy-wise, like Cody, whether I should just put it on there. This. So it's an easy one to just get rid of. Not because I actually like it, but just because I think it'd be an easy one to get rid of.
You want Alice in Wonderland to make the list?
But
over this,
I'm kind of there. I think there is a movie still left that shouldn't be where it is, and if it actually gets to me, or takes the chance that someone else will bring it up, like it might actually be in contention with these movies. So I got to say no to Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid does not take the last spot.
Alrighty.
I lost my place. Who's that? Who just went? Who nominated Little Mermaid?
I nominated.
Okay. Paul.
Yeah, I didn't even know who nominated. It shows how dumb I am.
All right, Paul, your turn to try to see if you can nominate who should take the last spot.
Here you go. I'm just going to go with my favorite, not even necessarily the one that I think is the best or deserves to be on this list the most, just because I think that I sort of already covered that base last time. So I'm going to say Emperor's New Groove. Again, like I said, Kronk, my favorite side character in any Disney movie. I think that movie is fucking hilarious, start to finish. You know, Kronk's cooking and, oh God, it makes me, obviously the Cusco poison and the levers and just Yzma and Kronk just being ridiculous. The fact that Kronk can speak to squirrels and other animals and woodland creatures makes no sense, but it's absolutely hilarious. And yeah, love this movie. Emperor's New Groove.
All right, Emperor's New Groove is on the table. I'll start this one off with a big hell no. Like there's putting an easy guy on there to kick off, and then there's just being me. No, like that's like the stereotype of taking your little brother to play with your friends when you know no one is going to pass him the ball. and yet you still put him on your team because you're forced to. That's Emperor's New Groove if you put him in that 7th spot. As much as he would be easy to kick off, I just don't even want to do that to that movie. But because I enjoy it, that's why I don't want to do that to that movie. That's why it does not make the top 7. So that's going to be a no from me. Let's go ahead and go to Malcolm next. Malcolm, what do you think?
I really don't like this movie. It's got one of the it's one of the most ridiculous villains, and the plot is just ridiculous. Yeah, it's a big hell no from me.
Okay.
All right, that's
Coming
2
up for
no's
later.
for Emperor's New Groove. I'm going to go ahead and go over to Cody. Cody, what do you think?
Malcolm, I'm gonna turn you into a flea, a harmless little flea. I'm gonna put that flea inside a box, and then put this box and sit. Rise, I'm gonna smash the hammer. The only reason I didn't nominate this one because I feel like it could upset something in the top 5 and make the list because I find this movie hilarious. It is so underrated. It has such a great villain and sidekick character that is so stupid that makes the movie so much fun. Like, the end sequence when they're on the thing and they keep turning each other into different stuff is one of the funniest animated sequences in movie history. I love the movie. I think the voice acting was phenomenal in this movie. So you know what? I'm going to say yes, and I hope it actually makes top 5 now. Malcolm.
All right, so that leaves it 2-2. So the deciding vote goes to Jeremy. Does Emperor's New Groove take the last spot?
No. I mean, come on. It's funny, but funny doesn't mean great. I mean,
Why not?
you made the equation. You made the equivalent of what you said. To me, this is the equivalent of this is the equivalent of the Ricardo Montalban Naked Gun scene where he falls off the stadium and then gets hit by the truck and run over by the steamroller, and then the marching band comes walking on. Like, I can't put this in the same category as stuff like The Lion King and Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast, Pinocchio.
Are you
It's
saying
not that great?
your favorite movie?
It's good. It's fun. It's not all-time great Disney movie. I'm sorry. I can't do that.
It's probably all-time funniest.
I am insulted. I am disgusted to be on this panel right now.
I guess humor is not great, guys.
It
Blazing
can't-
Saddles, not a great movie because it's funny.
Yep, you can't be funny. Make the list.
And people were worried we weren't going to have heels on this panel. How dare y'all.
I just didn't expect
Right
him to
here.
hear me.
All right,
Heels right
so
here.
I expected
with that,
me and
Emperor's New Groove is off. And just so you all know, the greatest line of Emperor's New Groove is, I've been turned into a cow. Can I go home? That is the best line of the entire movie.
You're wrong. The greatest line is what I was waiting to say if it actually made the list, and that's boom, baby.
Or the other greatest line, oh well, can't grieve forever.
All right, so it comes back to me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's so pissed off that everyone's just going to start voting no's and yeses out of spite. But I'm going to go ahead and say this one just because I think it's atrociously low on its list.
Wow.
And I'm going to say The Jungle Book. I don't know how that ended up number 4.
Wait, did you say atrociously low or high?
Huh?
Did you say atrociously low on its list?
Yeah, like
Interesting. Interesting.
Jungle Book to me, out of what's on this list, believe me, there should have been other movies on this list that probably would have ranked higher than Jungle Book. But
Peter
of
Pan.
what's on this list, like Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
But of what's here, Jungle Book should have been number 2. Easy. Of the movies I am looking at, Jungle Book should have been number 2. I'll fight anyone to the death on that. Definitely ranked higher than Alice in Wonderland.
I don't
The fact
want
that
to
it is
be
ranked
like
lower than Alice in Wonderland is a joke. So, like I said, I just think it deserves more credit than it's given. So I'm gonna throw out The Jungle Book. Jeremy, give me your thoughts.
No, I can't.
And people laughing that he can't be on the list. Gotta have a tragic death for it to be on the list.
No problem.
I mean, for me, it just doesn't hold up as much as I remember it. I mean, I like some of the characters. I find a lot of them to be annoying now as I've aged. Maybe that's just me being the grumpy old man. But to me, it just, I never really liked this movie as much as other people did. So I'm going to say no. I'm sure other people will say yes. So I'll let them give their reasoning.
Throw it on the cliff. It's 7.
Thank God Cody keeps messing up because we can't even hear what he's saying. So I'm going to go to Malcolm next. Malcolm, what do you think about Jungle Book?
Jungle Book for me, it's good. The songs are great. This is tough because I mean, looking at what else is in that era, because I mean, it's pretty much just Disney and post Disney. We've got ones left to nominate now.
Pretty much.
I'm gonna say yes and let everyone else decide.
All right. Well, then I guess I'll go to Paul next. Paul, what do you think, Jungle Book?
Oh, sorry, I was watching The Jungle Book, aka Falling Asleep. Holy shit, that movie is so boring. Outside of the songs, there was like nothing going on. Everyone thinks this all fun, grand adventure, but like nothing really happens in the movie. There's not really character development. Granted, it's still better than the quote-unquote live-action version, which was also incredibly boring for me, but absolutely not. Can we just do an addendum on the fact that Fantasia's not on this list, but The Jungle Book made the classic list? That's just beyond me, but that's beside the point. Whatever. Final answer, no.
Gotcha. All right. That's all we needed to hear because Fantasia wasn't going to make that list. And I saw to that. All right. Let's go ahead. Cody, I don't even think it needs to be really said, but you're the deciding vote. Does Jungle Book stay on or does it go off?
Like, everybody understands in this fan community that I can't stand Paul sometimes. And we go back and forth. And as much as I want to see him flip out about Jungle Book being on this list, is it possible that we can pass me in the order and give Paul my nomination? Because I really don't care what the 7th movie is on this list. I just don't. I think Jungle Book is boring. The music is fine, but the movie is boring. I did like the remake as what it is. I just think it was. I think it was better to me. It was still a boring movie. It's a boring source material, and we're getting another one by Andy Serkis. Another one of a boring storyline. I'm just confused. I'm going to say no.
That's no problem.
At least 4 movies left, right? For consideration. There's only 4 left for consideration.
Dumbo, Allison, Cinderella, and Fox and the Hound.
Yep. Those are the only 4 left. So, with Jungle Book off, I'm going to call an audible here. Gentlemen, do y'all just want to take these 6 and vote one off?
What? No.
Do you, Paul, do you honestly think something that is still on that list is going to make the top 5?
Potentially.
In your honest opinion.
Potentially. I don't know your guys' opinions on stuff. It would. There's one that would probably make my top 5 of these.
Let's just give him a vote. Let's see if it goes. If this one fails, then we'll just do an elimination of 6.
All right. Well, it's your turn, Cody.
Okay. This is just basic because I can't stand some of these movies. No on Cinderella. No on Alice. Dumbo was on drugs. I'm gonna go with Fox and the Hound.
All right.
That's why I just took off my vote to somebody else. That's why I'm just saying because I really just don't care. But if you guys want something else, then that's your choice. If you want to give my selection to Paul, because he's less picks, I'm okay with that, and he can actually nominate the next one. I'm cool with that. I'm totally cool with that. He's had less movies to select.
All right. Let me actually, since you agreed to it, I'll say it. Paul, what do you actually think has a chance of what's left?
Some Disney movie that makes me cry the hardest is Dumbo. I fucking love Dumbo. Dumbo is on drugs and it's crazy and wacky and out of this world, but I love that movie and adore it, and I think it hits home emotionally in so many ways. I think it says a lot about, like, you know, relationship to your parents and home and a sense of place, and I just think it's a wonderfully told story and wonderfully animated. And yeah, I mean, if it doesn't make the list, fine, but I love Dumbo, so I wasn't gonna just not give it any shine.
All right. You know what? I'm just going to go through it because there's only 4 films left and there's 5 of us. I just want to see, Malcolm, of what's left, what would you have nominated next?
I was going to surprisingly agree with Paul. I was going to nominate Dumbo next myself.
All right, so that's 2 for Dumbo. Jeremy, out of the 4 that are left, what would you have nominated next?
I was going to say Fox and the Hound, so I guess it's up to you, RJ. Just pick one of those 2. We got our 7.
We know what he's gonna pick.
All right.
That's fantastic. I didn't mean for it to happen again.
Only because I watched it recently, I'm going to give it to Dumbo. I watched it recently and actually remembered how much I enjoyed it.
There you go.
So I'll give it to Dumbo. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have finally gone through round 1. So, to let everybody know, out of the 15 movies we started with, the 7 we have narrowed it down to are The Lion King, Hercules, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Pinocchio, Mulan, and Dumbo. So appropriately, the numbers 1 through 3, basically of each list, just missing the 3s from Disney era and post. So appropriately.
Jeremy.
All right. Now, here comes the hard part. Now we have to get this 7 down to 5. So, Cody, it's still technically your turn.
Oh boy.
Who doesn't make top 5?
Next.
Well, okay. Again, this is going to be a bloodbath. I understand that people are going to have this different opinion. I'm okay as long as. Okay. Truth be told, I'm okay with 1. As long as 1 makes the list, I'm cool with it. But my personal choice, the one I do not resonate with, I understand that it is. People like it. I understand what it did for cinema and all that stuff. I have to throw Pinocchio. It's just my opinion. You know, I'll shoot it down now. But I can't in good conscience vote anything else off the list in my eyes. This is childhood right here. This is just, I understand your viewpoint on it. I understand people like it. It just didn't hit me. I was chicken as a child, and this scared the crap out of me. So let's just go with that.
Oh, that's totally fair. So Pinocchio is up for discussion. Jeremy, does Pinocchio stay or does Pinocchio go?
It stays. Next.
All right. Malcolm.
This is a tough choice because I like all 7 of these movies. But I've got Pinocchio. Pinocchio is my number 6, so it's got to go, sadly.
All right. Paul.
Second.
This is the Roberto Benigni Pinocchio, right? The live action one? No,
not
it stays on the list. It stays on the list.
All right. Deciding vote comes to me again, and yeah, I mean, it stays. Pinocchio, if anyone's going to make this top 5 out of here, for sure. Pinocchio to me isn't even in the 3 I would consider to knock off. Pinocchio definitely makes this list. So with that, Pinocchio will definitely be in the top 5. Excuse me. So we go to Jeremy next. Jeremy, what movie do you think should go?
I guess I'm just going to play the strategy game. Since it took us 1 billion years to get this number 7 movie on here, I'm just going to throw Dumbo out there.
All right, Dumbo's on the list. Malcolm.
Dumbo stays.
Ooh, that I actually find surprising. All right, that is 1-1 for Dumbo. Let's go to Paul.
I'm real scared something else is going to get knocked off. So even though I would probably I think I have it as my number 5, I'm going to say yes, Dumbo gets knocked off the list.
All right, that is 2-1 for Dumbo. Cody, does Dumbo stay or does it go?
If it stays, then I'm scared to see what goes. So, yep, Dumbo's going.
All right, Dumbo is officially off the list. All right. Malcolm, the deciding vote may come to you. Out of the 6 remaining movies, or actually out of the 5 because Pinocchio is automatically saved, out of the 5 remaining movies, what does not make the top 5?
Well, I'm going to go for the one that is my personal number 5 out of the 5 that had left, and that's Mulan. Mulan should go.
Mulan is on the chopping block. I'm going to take this one first. I'm going to say it stays. Immediately after that video, I regretted voting Hercules #1 over Mulan. As soon as I got off, I regretted that decision, and this is me trying to make up for it. I apologize to anybody who wants to like throw it at me, flip flop, whatever. Yeah, throw it out there. But yeah, I'm actually going to vote that Mulan stays. So Jeremy, let's go to you next. Does Mulan stay or does it go?
It goes. I mean, you've heard my opinion on it, a bunch by now. I think out of these movies which are all based in the 90s, I think it's the weakest. Not by much. I mean, I would still take Hercules a little bit over Mulan, but I think it's the weakest of those movies that are remaining, so I would say it has to go.
All right. Let's go ahead and go to Paul.
Let's get down to business. This fucking better stay. I'll be pissed if this doesn't make the list. And I feel like it won't, but whatever, it stays.
All right. Deciding vote once again to Cody. Cody, does Mulan stay or does it go?
Paul just said the magic words like I want to see him so mad. But me and him agree on this. But I'm so terrified right now because, no offense, when we get into this group, everything becomes like a yard. This one was nominated. This is the first animated to be nominated for Best Picture, so it has to go higher than this, and it did this cinema. Like, that's what I'm worried about at this point. So, like, if I vote this out, what's going? Gosh, do not make me be the deciding vote anymore. I have faith that the one movie that I like will not go. So, Mulan stays.
And with that, Mulan will definitely be in the top 5. All right.
Jeremy, that's why you should have put in for his new group. I would put that over. Just saying.
All right. I'm sorry. Sorry, I lost my place again. Who voted Mulan?
I think that was Malcolm, right?
Yeah, it
Malcolm?
was me.
Yeah.
All right. So, Paul, it goes to you. Out of the remaining 4 movies, who goes?
Frankly, for me, this is no contest. Great music, good villain, but not a good story. And the remake was way, way, way worse. But it's Beauty and the Beast. I don't give a shit how old the tale is, if the song is old as rhyme. Beauty and the Beast. Get the hell out of here.
All right. So, Beauty and the Beast on the board. Cody, since you don't want to be it again, I'll give it to you first. Does Beauty and the Beast stay?
Stockholm
Does it go?
syndrome.
Don't care about that. So we were on this situation when it came down to in the 90s, pretty much 90s battle on Full Metal 5. If I say yes to this being on the list, I am not physically okay with any of the other ones leaving at this point. So Beauty and the Beast is gone.
All right, that's 2 votes for Beauty and the Beast so far. Malcolm, what do you think?
I mean, this is gonna be
I think Beauty and the Beast should stay.
All right.
No.
2 votes yes, 1 vote no. Jeremy, what do you think?
RJ, the 4 is going to be yours because I think it's got to stay.
What are you doing? What is wrong with you guys?
Yeah, sorry to Cody's heart, but yeah, there's one obvious movie out of what's left that should go. No offense, and it's not Beauty and the Beast.
What?
So yeah, Beauty and the Beast
It's
stays.
not good. Oh my god.
Oh my
right. So,
god.
That movie's
it is
bad,
my
by the way.
turn.
It's not just not good, it's bad.
So, like I said, out of the 3 movies remaining, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's Hercules. I'm sorry. Like I said, Hercules, like, I voted you #1. I get it, but I really went back and thought about it. Mulan took your spot in my heart. So, sorry, but you got to go because those other 2 are not going. And I don't care how much it hurts Cody. I know he agrees, but I'm going to get to someone else first so I don't make him do it. So I'll go to Malcolm. What do you think? Does Hercules stay or does it go?
Hercules stays.
Oh, all right. Well, that is a big surprise, at least for me, compared to what's left. So he says Hercules stays. Cody, does Hercules stay or does it go?
Oh my gosh. I love the movie. I really do.
Oh no!
But if I had to go up with animation, I'm sorry. I believe it has to. Because I believe Beauty and the Beast should be on the list. That's just me. I just don't. You guys agreed with it. Hercules has got to go on this. I nominated the other two. I just did. I'm sorry.
All right, so that's 2 votes against Hercules, 1 vote for it. Paul, what do you think?
This is my favorite.
No, sorry, Jeremy.
Yep.
You do not get the pick.
This is tough because I don't want it to come to Aladdin because I know that's going to be the next one that would get brought up, even though I would bring up Lion King, but no one's going to vote that off. For the sake of humanity, I'm just going to say
Hawaii right now. I put Mulan on. Do not do that to me.
All right, so with that, Hercules is officially gone.
Holy shit!
So
I agree with it. It shouldn't have happened. It's crazy.
How?
all right,
How do you Beauty and the Beast over that? Are you serious?
all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, through these 3 lists, we have come down to 5. Those 5 are The Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Pinocchio, and Mulan. Now, gentlemen, you know how this last round works. You grab your whiteboard. We're going to start writing down these movies. So, out of the 5 movies we have, what do you think should be number 5? All right. Everyone's got their boards up. Let's go to Cody.
Beauty and the Beast.
Jeremy.
Mulan.
Malcolm.
Mulan.
Paul.
I want the alternate title: Hermione and Dracula go to the ball. Beauty and the Beast.
That's 2 for 2. And sorry, I said Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is number 5. So let's now write down your number 4.
Jeez.
Man, this one's hard for me, actually.
Wait.
At least I've learned not to erase my name this time.
I've still got to learn that, apparently.
Damn.
Okay. All the whiteboards are up. Let's go ahead and go.
Hold on.
All right.
Hold on. Sorry.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Jeremy first.
Mulan.
And Malcolm.
Mulan.
I should have. Damn it.
And Paul.
Yeah, I went with the 3rd best adaptation of Hamlet, Lion King.
Wow. I said Pinocchio. Cody, what did you say?
Pinocchio.
So Paul, or
You have
it
to
comes
choose
to
between
you
Pinocchio
actually.
and Mulan.
It's 2 and 2. What's
Holy
number 4?
fucking shit.
Pinocchio or Mulan?
Your favorite Disney movie. Your favorite.
I'm gonna say Pinocchio, I guess, at 4.
All right. I mean, do we really have to even ask who's number 3? Do we really need to go through that?
I think so.
Okay, never mind. Then if Paul thinks so, then we're going. All right. So Pinocchio on number 4. Write your number 3.
Malcolm, why are you not even hiding our answers? This is ridiculous.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Malcolm.
Mulan.
Paul.
I had Aladdin.
I had Mulan. Cody.
Mulan.
All right, that does it.
I just wanted to be very clear that I was not voting Mulan as the third best movie.
Oh, we noticed.
All right, so last one, gentlemen. Write what movie you think is the #1 Disney movie of all time.
I can actually erase my board this time.
You don't have to. You can still say Mulan if you want.
I'm not going to say what I don't agree with.
Ooh, actually.
So hard. Don't be disrespectful, Paul. Just wait.
I'm more so trying to predict what other people are saying, and then
I understand. That's what I kind of. Oh. I don't know. That'll be difficult. With this group, I have no idea at this point.
All right, Paul, we go to you first.
I still think it's the third best Hamlet, but Lion King.
I also said Lion King. Cody?
I'll go to the other two.
All right. Malcolm?
Mine's-
Lion King.
Okay.
Ooh,
Oh, that ends it. Don't even. Sorry, Cody.
No,
Don't
Jeremy
even.
has Aladdin. guaranteed.
Oh, mine was decided before we won.
Yeah. All right, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We have done it to the disdain of most people probably watching and to a couple of these guys here. So, the top 5 Disney animated movies of all time, according to the FM5, are number 5, Beauty and the Beast. Number 4, Pinocchio. Number 3, Mulan. Number 2, Aladdin. And the number 1 Disney animated movie of all time is The Lion King. Well, that does it here for us. We've done it. I said I was going to do it. We did it. Cody's got work in the morning. we're gonna get off this real quick. There's no real use for honorable mentions because the 15 were the only ones that were even eligible. And basically,
I also
all but
Wonderland.
two got
Everyone
mentioned.
hates it, but I like that movie a lot. That's all I want to say.
It's not that I hate it. Well, no, I actually do hate it, but it definitely should have been in the top 5. That's my main complaint. Should have been in the top 5.
Great job with the 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You did a great job hosting. I really enjoyed it.
I appreciate that. All right, so just real quick, let everybody sign off. Cody, where can good people find you?
Go to Newberry on Facebook. That's about it. Thanks.
All right, JTH.
On Twitter at WWJTH1.
All right, Malcolm.
You can find me wondering if this list would have gone any different if Jeremy Adams was on the panel, but yeah, you can find me on Take 3 Productions, doing a lot of things. I've got a new show starting next week on there called Rankum.
All right, Paul, where can the good people find you?
Paul Oyama, Letterboxd and Facebook, Instagram, p.k.o, all across Trivia Leagues, winning shit. Wild bunch. That's it.
All right, and you can find me, guys, eagerly waiting by my mailbox for a very special package. You'll all know by Friday because I am going to make a video about it. There are some of you who may already know what I'm talking about.
Is it a bop from Jeremy for not having Pinocchio as number 1?
It is not, but I'm very excited about it. Just to throw out a hint out there for those who think they know what it's about, Tim Smith knows what I'm talking about. Tim Smith. Talk to Tim Smith if you want to know what I'm talking about.
Ooh.
And you can find me here on Full Metal. I'll still be running FM5 for a couple of weeks. I will come up with relatable topics. I just want to get these Disney ones out of the way. I will go back to Chance's format, I promise.
Do we know what next week is?
I do not yet. I still got to figure that out. Let me look. You can leave me alone. I don't do this. I'm helping out a friend. But you can find me here on Full Metal Media. You can find me on Facebook at Rene Villiarreal Jr. And you can find me on the many platforms at WWMG and Movie Battleground. So that's it for us here, guys. Thank you for joining us so late for those of you who did. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.